guys, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome my friend to the Daily Message. So glad that you stopped by. You never know when one single idea can make a radical change in your life. You know, sometimes that's all we need, right? We just need one little shift that's going to move us forward. So I hope I can bring you some of that today. Please make sure you have subscribed. There'll be subscribe buttons here or here. Hit that subscribe button, share this with friends, post it on your socials. It really does help. Now, if you want private coaching with me, there'll be a button here, a link. Go check it out. You can book me for conferences, training with your team, whatever you need. Go check out those links. There's also free access to my book, Bridging the Gap. Let's jump in to today's episode. Yesterday, we were on day one of a 3-day David Goggins binge. If you're not familiar with David Goggins and why I think he's such an important, interesting human, then go back and check yesterday's episode. Today, we're going to do quote number 2. You ready? Let's jump straight in. The only way to change your life is to change your mind. Well, I don't know about you, but first time I read that, I'm like, boom, I love simplicity. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Simplicity helps us to execute. The only way to change your life is to change your mind. Sounds so obvious. Let's unpack it a little bit. And remember, as always, the full podcast version, the longer version is under here. Change always happens because of some cognitive shift. We have these remarkable brains and nothing changes until something changes here. Now, we may have an emotional response to something, and often I talk about the different aspects of our brain. We've got the limbic system at the base of our brain that really affects emotion and things like fear regulation, that sort of stuff, and temperature, body temperature, it's the oldest part of our brain. And right here at the front, we've got the prefrontal cortex, the last thing that Mother Nature built in our brains. It is in this prefrontal cortex, the executive center of the brain, where you get to really think about reality itself, about the reality that you are living right now and whether or not you want it to be different. So the only way, my friend, that you are really going to shift something in your life will be with a cognitive process. Now, your body will follow, you'll do a whole bunch of stuff, but we have to begin to change our minds about things in our life that are no longer working. I am preaching to myself. I am working on this all the time, constantly battling, shaping, critiquing, changing my cognition. I've said to you guys so many times, over the years, I just kind of thought that whatever the brain was serving up was reality. If you felt happy, it was because there was a reason to be happy. If you felt miserable, it was because there must be some miserable reason to feel miserable. And whatever was coming at me, I just accepted that my brain was telling me the truth. What I am learning, my friends, is that your brain is rarely telling you the truth. Your brain is doing basically two things. It's trying to keep you alive and it's trying to keep you out of danger. So when it comes to things like risk and change and challenge and difficulties and all the things that can be really hard for us, your brain is often just trying to get you to stop. Your brain just wants you to go back to comfort. Your brain wants you to go back to doing exactly what you've already been doing for a long period of time. So to change that, we begin to change our minds. We change our minds all the time, right? Like we change it with clothing, with you go to buy one car, but you decide you want a different one. It's not like we don't know how to do this. It's that we're probably not leveraging it powerfully enough. So I want you to look into your life at the moment and really ask yourself, what needs to change? And how can you use your thinking to begin to change it? You walk past the cookie jar and every single day you're like, me want cookie, right? It's just autopilot, grab that sucker, off you go. To change your life, your health, your weight requires a cognitive change. As you approach the cookie jar, your brain begins to go, that's not who I am. That's not what I want. I'm actually going to be able to stop myself and do something else. And you can work out all sorts of strategies. We're never going to be short of strategies, but nothing changes until you change your mind. All right? So look into your life. How can you use this thing differently? How can you begin to question and critique some of the negative things you are doing, some of the negative outcomes you are experiencing? We change our life when we change our mind. All right, that's it for me today. Hit the subscribe button. Go check out these links. Book me for private coaching. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Message, and you and I, my friend, are going to talk again tomorrow.